Hello, everybody. In this video, we're going to do something basically what we did last video, except we're going to do a production deployment of sorts on Replit. So we're going to use Replit. We're going to create a deployment on Replit so that you can actually hand off a link to a customer when you do build a SaaS with AI. I'm going to do a quick, draw up here of how I want this to be, how I'm going to envision this, and I'm going to build it along with you guys kind of live as I go. What I want to build is a client dashboard. So this is actually something that we've needed for our business, and I guarantee this tool already exists if I Google it, because every possible software idea you can think of always exists, and just how that works. But what we want to do here, I kind of scratched that out. There we go. Oh, that's good enough. Okay. What we're going to do is kind of just have a basic dashboard of, like a basic aesthetic graph, maybe something like this. I'm not even sure yet. I'm kind of going to let the AI build out, because we're going to be using Python. So I'm not even going to think about which graphing or chart library we're going to use. I'm just going to let it do its thing and give me the best options. But I kind of want something, like maybe these are months down here, and this is the amount of money I'm making. And, something like this, where I can just track how much revenue or profit we're making each month. Ideally, this would keep going up, but in reality, sometimes it's like this, right? Whatever though. And what I wanted to add was kind of just like a simple progress tracker of each client, like a list of clients. And I wanted, per client, just have some sort of like project list, like this task is pending, completed, per project, things like that, right? So just something to keep track of each client's status. So not too complex, but a bit more complex than last time. And I just want to have it be something that I could actually use. And I probably will actually use this, because, all these SaaSes you have to pay $30-$50 a month for. Why not just build it yourself? And the thing I love about this is you can make it so custom. And I think we're entering a new age where a lot of companies, smaller companies especially, will be better off just building their own applications, because it's so much more accessible to build things now, because you don't have to. It's not limited to only huge enterprises that have 100 developers, right? Anyone with AI can build a piece of code, right? So let's get started. So I'm going to tell ChatGPT, we're going to use ChatGPT for this video. Claude's still great. I just want to use ChatGPT. Most because I don't want to pay for Claude. I am a little cheap. Claude is also asking for $30 a month or so. So, we're going to limit that. Okay. So I want to build a custom client dashboard that I will host in Replit. The client dashboard should have an aesthetic way, maybe chart, graphs, etc., to keep track of my business's monthly profit / revenue. Let's just say revenue, just keep it simple. I also want to have a clients list where I can keep track of client status / basic project progress. What else? Make sure it looks amazing and modern. What else you could do, guys, is you could literally find something that, I don't want to do that for this video because I don't really have anything in mind, but what you could do is find something online that you already like and just take a screenshot of it and give it to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT you can tell it to build it similar to that. But I'm just going to start with this very basic prompt and let's see where it goes. Specify we're using Python for this, and let's go. Okay. Set up Replit environment. So it's going to tell me to use pandas, Plotly, Flask. Okay. So wants me to add those to our requirements.txt. Using the Replit packager. So I'm just going to ask it to use, I want to use the Replit shell. So I just want to create a new one here. Python client dashboard. Private. Oh yeah, so I can't do private, so I have to pay. So this is going to cost you $25 a month. So what you get with this Replit plan is unlimited REPL, so projects, more storage, and all deployment types. So I'll be right back, just so you guys can't steal my credit card info, and I will see you in a minute. And we are back. I have paid, and we're going to name this client dashboard. And of course, I want this private because I don't want everyone to know how much clients we have and business about our clients. So, okay, so welcome. We're just going to go through this. Launch your apps with a few. I've actually never done a Replit deployment, so we're going to do this live together just to show you how simple this is. It should be very simple. Okay, cool. All right, let's go. So I want to use the shell, first of all, to get those resources. So I probably already know how to get these. Let's say you don't know. I'm going to tell it, how can I install those packages with the Replit shell? Now remember, guys, as you're typing with ChatGPT here, it's going to keep memory of your entire conversation, right? So you can go back and forth and ask it, like you can use this whole conversation and reference it in the future too. So you can, work on this, take a break, come back tomorrow, it doesn't matter. Okay, so we have to do all of these inside the Replit shell. Again, you can use a requirements file. You know what? Let's actually use a requirements file because I want to make this more production ready. It's not going to be, typical production type thing, but we still want it to mimic it as much as possible. Okay, so we have our requirements txt file. Now we're going to add in the actual dependencies here. Do that. Done. Save that. And what you have to do now is just install those in the shell. So pip install. And you can see it's doing its thing there. Okay, while that's doing its thing, let's look at what we'll have to do next. So you can see here, there's not much code at all, actually. And we might make it more extensive, though. So let's start with this first. So this is going to be this first file. What is this? This is for the chart. So this is sample data, actually. Okay. Web-based dashboard optional. Oh, so these are all individual, I think. Yeah, so this is an example using Plotly. This is an example using pandas. And this is pandas in Flask. So I do want to do the Flask one. So let's do that. Give me the code for the Flask version. Because we want this to be a web application, right? We don't want it to just be like a script we run. It has to be a web application. Give me the code for the Flask version and use Plotly. Because I think that one was using pandas, so we're going to use Plotly for the Flask. Okay. Main.py. So you can see it's even telling you the project structure. So if you're new to coding, this makes it way easier. Okay. So we need a main.py start. So while it's getting that, we already have this here, so I don't even have to create it. We'll wait for that to finish. Cool. And this is done. So we're going to make a bunch of changes, guys, after. I know right now, like the data is hard-coded. Don't worry about that just yet. We're just going to see what this even looks like because we don't know if we'll even like this. Okay, so we need templates now. So we need templates folder. So we're going to go templates and add a file, dashboard.html. Why can't I delete it? Rename. There we go. Okay, we're going to copy paste that. That's the dashboard. And now we need to do the style sheet here, the CSS. Okay. So we need a static folder. Static. And we need a file in it called style.css. Style.css. And we're going to copy this code and paste that. Cool. And that should be it. All it's telling me now is just to run it. So let's just see, first go what it actually looks like. Maybe we hate it. Maybe we love it. We'll see. Okay. Port 5000 open, but not exposed to the web. So That's basically what we want, actually. Why is this not showing? No, it's not what I want. There we go. Okay, so I just had to open the web view. All right, so we see this. In my opinion, this looks very ugly. Like it's okay. Like it gives you the data technically, but this really isn't what we want. So we do have the revenue and the progress. Okay, now I want to tell it to the revenue chart and the progress chart are way too ugly. Can you make them substantially more modern and aesthetic? And I don't mean to do that just because it looks better. It's also easier to read. This actually has a lot of options here you can see, but they're not really too useful. Like this is still very, very useful, but it's still just it's hard on the eyes in my opinion. So, see how this changes. And if this doesn't work well, what I'm going to do is just find a picture of a similar application online and just send ChatGPT what I want it to look like. Awesome. Okay, so we got the main done. We're going to copy that code, go over here, change this so, save that. Cool. Now we need the dashboard HTML. So we're going to wait for that to complete. Done. Okay, we have that. Boom, boom, boom. Now we need the style. And the style is done. Okay, now let's see if it's a bit closer to what we want. Stop, run. And let's see this. Okay, a little better. Still not the vision I want. I want something maybe more of a line chart of sorts, Monthly revenue. March. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to find a good example online, and I'm going to send it to ChatGPT, so I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. I found something that looks, similar to kind of something like Stripe, and I'm going to tell it to make it similar to that. Can you change it to look similar to this example dashboard? So you can see the dashboard here. It's kind of just more of the line graphs and a bit more visually appealing. So let's see how this does. Smooth line charts is what we want. Cool. And this is, so now we also got new clients. This is users, but we're going to change that to be clients. And that is actually a pretty useful statistic as well. Very useful, I would say. So we go to main here. Boom, boom. Oh, was that it? So this is actually much shorter as well. Let me make some more space here. I'm going to change this to, I'll just ask it to change it for me. But we can do that after. Let's get the dashboard now. Got the dashboard and styling. Okay, cool. That is done. I think that'd be it. Awesome. Okay, so let's just stop it, rerun it, see how it looks. Ooh, okay. So this is weird. It's basically what we want, but this is weird. Now, this is what I gave it, and that's what it gave me. So obviously it doesn't look like this, right? So what I'm going to do here is actually do this. So I'm going to take a screenshot and tell it, this does not look like the dashboard I provided you. Key changes would be to place each separate metric in its own contained box, and also include more, also be more space conscious of the page layout. Okay, so I was just changing the dashboard right now. So we probably don't even need to change the code, technically. Okay, so dashboard's done. Copy that. Go over here. Boom, boom. Now styling. Styling is done. So once again, let's go again, see how it works. So to me, this looks basically the same. I don't know if... Did I not copy paste properly? Let me try one more time here. Okay. And you know what I'm noticing right now? Replit actually has its own AI feature that I've been seeing here. I don't want to try it though because I don't know exactly how it works yet. But yeah, let's see if I copy pasted it incorrectly. So yeah, there's no difference from what was there before. So I'm just going to tell it there's still no difference. Ship that off. And sometimes this will happen, right? The LLM will not really make the changes correctly, and you just have to tell it, and it will revise its answers. Now, am I guaranteed to get a fix in this answer? No, still not, but I'm hopeful. You have to believe. What we're going to do here also after this, after we're done making it prettier, is we're going to add in some type of login functionality. So there is some type of security, right? Okay, so that's our dashboard, I believe. Okay. Dashboard. That's good. Now, CSS. Okay. No, still not working. Okay. Why is this not work? Okay, so I noticed we're getting a 404 here, actually. Okay, so see, that's an issue. So the style was under static, which was under templates, but this should be on its own. So there we go. That might have been causing issues. Now let's see what this looks like. Awesome. So still needs some work, but you can see how quickly ChatGPT actually debugged that for me. So it just made me double check that, and we're good now. So let me actually check the console over time. Yeah, so it looks good now. Okay. So this is what we have now. Business dashboard, monthly revenue, new users, churn users. See the percentages here. I'm liking this. You know what? I was a little sad there because it wasn't working, but it was actually my fault. See, it's always my fault. It's never ChatGPT's fault. I had the static folder in the wrong directory. Okay, so I'm going to tell it, change. You know what? I was going to do this manually. It's probably quicker. So I want the users to be clients. So everywhere we have users, can I do a replace all here? Select all. Come on, screen. Go like this. Clients. Replace all. Now I stop. Now I run. And it should be reflective of clients now. Or not. Where is it? Oh, I might be in the... Yes, it is in the HTML as well. That was just the code. Okay, so we go here. Users. Clients. Place all. Stop. Run. And we are now using clients. Okay, awesome. Cool. So one thing I'm noticing is I don't like this extra title here that I don't need, right? Because I already have the title here. So I'm going to tell ChatGPT, perfect. Oops. So I'm going to tell ChatGPT, perfect. You fixed it, but I need the title to not be duplicated in the chart as shown in the screenshot. Now let's see what it says for that. So it doesn't add the title. It only relies on the HTML header. So, you know what? This might actually even be a simple fix that I could see myself. Let me check really quickly. Charts. Title unknown. So I think it's definitely this. I don't know if I can just remove it though. To remove the title. Okay, I'm just going to trust it. That made the correct change. Go in here. Copy, paste, and stop, run. Now the duplicate title should now be gone. Awesome, they are gone. Okay, cool. The other thing is, you see how it's trailing here, how this is sticking out. So we have to change that. Let me make sure it's not duplicate. Okay, cool. So it's like that too. Thank you. That fixed it. Also, can you fix the chart? How do I say this? Border going over the box container. I did upload a screenshot. You can see that there. Let's see if it recognizes what I'm trying to say. So yeah, this would be a CSS issue. Right now, we don't have client progress. We might not even get to client progress for this video. I might just stick to monthly revenue, new clients, churn clients. So the CSS is being updated. And it should be done. Oh, yeah. Okay, done. Copy code, Replit. This was the dashboard, if I'm correct. Yeah. Or no, CSS, sorry. Okay. Go back to CSS. Save that. Stop. Run. And now we have the fix. See that? How it's perfect? I love it. That is beautiful. Okay. So the one thing I don't like is how I can't. First of all, I don't want this. I don't need this. This doesn't really help me. But to be honest, it's only there when you're on it. But I kind of want to remove it. So I'm going to tell ChatGPT to remove that. Can I remove that menu available from Plotly for each line chart? And I also want to, can you also add more details as for each XY axis, what it represents? And yeah, I'll just stick it like that. Okay. Stick to that. So display mode bar is equal to false. So do we already have that set to true? It might be default to true. No, probably have to set it. Also, I'm noticing here that we had the visibility for the X and Y axis to false. So that will probably be changed with this update. Yeah, it's true now. So I don't know. I kind of like it there. I think it gives more understanding into what we're displaying. Okay. Copy this. Stop. Run. You know what? I like that now. I like that. Months. This is nice now. This is already nice. The one thing I do want to change, I don't like how months is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I want it to be January, February, March, April. What I'll do though, instead of January, February, I'll do the last, let's say, this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do the last 5 months. So thank you. And you also see now we have the revenue of the months. I like that. New clients, months. Okay. So can you, again, thank your agents always. Thank you. But can you also change the months on the x-axis to only show the last 5 months and not 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? It should be the month names. Once we get that sorted out, I'll be happy with it. I don't know if this is just a placeholder. How is this calculated? The monthly revenue. $1.4%. Okay, let's go for this. So now this should show the last 5 months or so. Beautiful. Exactly what we wanted. May, June, July, August, September. Awesome. So revenue here is, these numbers are obviously, let's say, so this is sample data. What I do want to change is I want this to be something that I input, right? So I can set those numbers. So let's do that. That worked. But can you not hard code the month revenue and new client numbers? I want there to be an option for me to add those values myself. Okay, let's go. Let's go in. Add a form, add input fields. Okay. And now again, this form might be something that's ugly when we start, but like you saw me do with the charts themselves, you can refine it super easily just by asking it to make the changes for you. So we might not go super into depth on making the value inputs super beautiful, but let's see what it gives us. Okay, so it's giving me this option here and use Flask to capture the form data. Okay. So we have two options here. You know what? I'm going to try both and see which one I like better. So this was the dashboard. And here's the Flask. We just have to wait for it. If this first one is good, I'm not going to stress about even trying the second one, but I think I'll like the second one better. These are default values if there's no form data provided, so it just doesn't crash out. All done. So now we get the main. And we stop and we run. Okay, nice. Monthly revenue. Okay, so enter values separated. So I think what it's saying for this is this would be the last 5 months, what the revenue values were. So let's say we had 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. I don't know how I want them separated. It might not be by commas, but we're just going to try this. So that's that. And then new clients 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Okay, so that actually worked. You can see in May, we did 1,000, then 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. Okay, cool. May, June, July, new clients. Okay, cool. So obviously for this new clients, I'd also want to have like a total clients and also churn clients, those type of columns. So I'm actually going to add those in too. But before I do that, I don't like this because this means I have to do this every time I want to update my revenue, right? I'd have to manually do that, but I don't want that. I want it to store it for me, meaning we need a database. So I'm going to tell it, I don't want to have to, I'll tell it that works, but I don't want to have to manually list the last 5 months every time I change, every time I update my next month's revenue. I want the application to keep track of it for me using a DB or whatever works best, which would be a DB, but I'm just leaving it vague for ChatGPT. So you can see where we started with this and where we're at now. And you could see, I'm a software engineer, but if you're not, you could get away with not knowing anything and still creating a custom, dashboard for your business. And this could be something else. This is just, a more visual representation for a project, but you could create something that's really useful for your company. Okay, so now you're seeing it's creating a SQLite database. Cool. We got that now. Copy code. Go to main. And now we want to update the dashboard HTML. Add this form inside the body tag. So it actually isn't considering it. It's considering I use the second option, so I'm going to tell it. Actually, I can just manually do this. I think this is fine. Add this form inside the body tag. No, I can't. No, I'll just get rid of all of this, actually. Form to input data. This was new clients revenue. Okay. Just going to do this. Okay. Stop. Hold on. Okay. Great. Mini line chart is not. All right. Okay, so this left out the function here. So I'm just going to tell ChatGPT that it forgot that function. So it's probably going to apologize to me any second now. There we go. Add it back. I don't know why I removed it in the first place, but that happens. There we go. It's adding it. Nice. And we are good to go. Okay, I copy this. No errors. Success. Okay. So now you see we have no data because this is actually real now. It's not hard-coded. And I have options here to enter the month and the monthly revenue, new client numbers, and churned client numbers. So I don't know why it actually has this option because there's no chart for churn, but let's actually try to do this. Okay, so example, September. You can see it's actually cut off here. And I don't know actually if how it accepts it, but let's try this. Okay, September did $1,000. New clients, we did 2 new clients. Let's say 0 churn clients. Okay, so you can see this didn't really work well. Or it did actually, but it's not a chart yet because we only have 1 month, right? So let's say September, August, we did 3,000 and we got 2 new clients, 1 churned client. There we go. Okay, so you can see another issue. I started with September. I should have started with August. I was thinking it might be smart enough to know. A simple way to go about fixing this is I'll just delete this database file. And now if I refresh this, this will break. But I'll just stop this, rerun it, and go from there. So, okay, let's go all the way from June, July, August, September. I'm going to start from May. May was $1,000, 2 new clients, 0 churn. In June, we had, let's say, $3,000, 1 new client, and 1 churned. Okay. July, we had, let's say, $2,000. And then 1 new client, 0 churned. Nice. And now let's do August. 4,000, 1 new client, 0 churn. Again, the churn isn't actually doing anything. But if I wanted to, I could add in a chart for churn clients and total clients. And now let's chat in September finally. And you can see it doesn't actually matter too much what the value is for these months. It could be A, B, C, D. It won't matter. It's just for the actual label itself. Let's say we did 3,400 and it got 3 new clients. And I need to fill that field even though it's not used. There we go. So now you can see monthly revenue and new clients. So you can see for May, we had $1,000, June, 3,000, July, 2,000, August, 4,000, and September, 3,400. So could you do this in Excel? Could you do this in a Google Doc or Google Sheets? Probably. But I just want to show you how useful this is to make super nice custom dashboards, which you can just, hand off to an employee. They don't have to know how to use Google Sheets or Excel. They can just enter numbers in and it works perfectly for them. And it stores in a persistent database. Okay. So what is next now? I like everything here. The churn chart actually isn't showing up, so it should be showing up. Why is that not showing up? Anything in the console here? No. That's a little weird. I bet it's this. New clients, chart, monthly revenue. Yeah, so we don't actually have a box for the churn clients. So if I simply add that in, that's why it wasn't showing up. Okay. And this variable here is referencing the Flask variable. So when I go ahead and stop this, and remember, we still have our dashboard database, so this should actually be persistent. There we go. Nice. And we can see the trend clients pops up too. Nice. I like this. Cool. So let's now add in, okay, let's say you had a question. Maybe you're not familiar with software or code, and you want to know how persistent the database is. So will the revenue and client data be persistent because due to the DB? Tell me things I should be careful of. So if you're new to this and if you don't know, you're just trying to figure out what to look out for, but it's going to tell you, yes, using a database like SQLite ensures that the data will be persistent. Even if you restart the application, the data is saved in a file, which means it will be available between app runs. So things to be careful of. Obviously, if you overwrite or delete the file, you're going to lose the data, right? SQLite is not designed for heavy concurrent access. So if multiple users, probably high traffic, so several, like maybe even hundreds, then it might cause an issue, right? So that's going to be the number one thing. And you can also, it's giving you suggestions already. I was going to ask it to, but it's already doing it. So you can switch to a more powerful DB. I think Replit, so Replit actually has some built-in databases here that you can create. So if you want to use Replit and have it be much more persistent and safe, this is what you would use. But this is just, for a simple example that I'm showing you. This would be a great way to make sure you don't have to stress at all about losing anything. Okay, cool. So what we want to do really quickly now is add in just a basic, let's say we don't want user logins. We don't really care too much about tracking who's making what changes. Let's say, can you password protect this web application? So I can just hand off the password to whoever is using this. And what that'll let us do is just, block it from being accessible to anyone that has the link. So either way, the link wouldn't be like public. Like it's not like I'm going to be handing this out to people. But this way it's nice because I can have a username and password so that it's at least protected to some extent. And we're only going to go with one admin password. You can create multiple users, but just for the sake of this demo, I'm not going to do that. And this would also be in the main.py file. So it's going to give me all the other code it already had plus the authentication. I should actually be good to just copy that, but I'm just going to let it finish. Okay. Almost done here. And you can see like this file is actually getting pretty long now. Just like this video is getting pretty long. But I just want to show you guys like a transparent view in what this type of development looks like when you're kind of designing these apps if you're new to code. And I just want to show you how doable it is for anybody. Like if you have zero experience in really anything, if you just know English, literally just need to know a language. You don't even need English. Just hop on an LLM, ChatGPT, Claude, whatever, and just, start asking what you want, like get the things you want and just start taking action, and it's super doable. You don't need much knowledge. Okay, so now we should have a password protection, and you can see it's hard-coded here. Obviously, we can do that even more secure, but let's stop this, run it, and we should still have that data, but you can see here now it's requiring a sign-in. So we're going to do admin, password, and we are in. So let's say if I refresh this, so it's keeping that in the cache, I guess, but let's say I rerun it to show you what it looks like. Oh, maybe it's keeping that for a little while, actually. Yeah, I just wanted to show you how it looks like if I enter the incorrect password. But you know what we're going to do next anyways, because it looks like it's just keeping the session in Replit. We are going to deploy this now so that I don't have to do it here locally. So dev URLs are temporary and will sleep after you leave the workspace. So that's not what we want right now. We want to actually deploy this now, which is what we're going to do. And like I said, I've never actually done a deploy on Replit. So you're going to see how I go through this process myself. So we have a few options here. Set up your deployment, recommended auto scale. It meets demand exactly. So let's go with that. It's saying that's the suggested option for most projects. It can scale from 0 to any level of demand. And let's go for that. Okay. So 4 CPUs, 8 gigs RAM. Okay. I guess I can edit this. I don't know if it even costs me, if I save money. I'm just going to leave it like that for now. Max number of machines. The most machines that should ever spin up to handle your highest traffic. More machines means a faster experience. Let's go with 3. And again, this will be, the billing for this can be modified. You know what? I definitely don't need this much, so let me go for 2. Let me go for 2 gigs of RAM there as well. Okay, let's go. Domains. Okay, so type autoscale. We have all that information there. As you can see, it's pretty weak. Our domain we can customize here. I'm guessing you could do a custom domain as well. Now available, make deployments only visible to your team. So, this could be a useful option as well if you don't want to hand it off to anybody. You can do it for, I'm guessing, other people in your Replit team account. Private deployment, only editors of this repo on your team will be able to see the deployment. I don't want that. Run command, so this is how it starts. Database, secrets. We don't actually use a database, so I'm not sure why it's telling me this, but I'll just leave that. Port configuration doesn't really matter to us. So the domain thing is what I'm curious about. If I can do a separate, you could add more custom, okay, after deployment. So I'm going to do enviro client, enviro dashboard, .replit.app. Okay, awesome. Deploy. And you see there, all it took was a couple clicks. Let's see how it works. Provision build, bundling now. And the link it's going to give me now, like I said, is going to be available even if I close Replit, I shut down my account, my session, and I turn off my computer. It won't matter. And while that's going, you can see we also have information here for when it is live. We have logs, analytics, so requests, HTTP statuses. So if your customers are getting errors, it can debug those. Top devices, top browsers, top. See, this is just a nice way to see if your customers are actually using it the way they should be, right? And here you could add domain. So if you have a custom domain, there you go. Perfect way to do that here. And you can change your deployment types and resources as you need. So go back to the overview. It's still bundling. I'm not complaining because it's a super easy way to deploy a little mini SaaS. And I love this as an option for, if you're just giving a custom solution to one client. I think this is a great option because it's super quick to develop. And there are persistent databases. There is security you can implement. So it has everything you need, really. Failed to send deployment, lifecycle client command timeout. Okay. See what the issue is here. Failed to deploy, view deploy logs. No errors here. I see the logs here. They're just timed out. So you know what we can do is try redeploy. See what happens. Okay, I am back, and it just took a little bit, but you can see now it's deployed and it's up. So all I need to do now, I think, is get the link, which I have right here, domain. And again, you can change the domain here. If you go link a domain, you can use your own domain. So that's awesome. You can even buy a custom one for a client. But let's go to overview, open this up. Boom, we got a username here, which was admin. Actually, let's try doing a wrong answer here first. So let's say password is wrong here. I don't know who owns this. Boom, it doesn't work. So you can see it doesn't work. And admin password will work. And it's loading. And we are in. And you can see it has the past data from before that I already inputted because it has that database. And I can still add additional information. So that was pretty fun to build. I like that. That was cool. If you guys, like I said, if you guys want to try building something, I highly recommend just take action, hop on ChatGPT, hop on Replit, just start coding. and copy pasting basically, and keep prompting until you get exactly what you want. You just have to be a bit stubborn and take a lot of action. If you enjoyed this, please like the video and subscribe to the channel, because we're going to be doing more and more of these live build type of videos. And you could tell in this video, it's kind of gritty. It's rough. It's not something where I know exactly what I'm going to do at this exact moment. It's not scripted. It's me learning just the way you're learning as we go together, and showing you the reality of building an application like this that is still super valuable, but it's, you don't know exactly how to do things. You just have to learn as you go. So again, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you guys again next time.